So today we're going to talk about the fastest way to make a cinematic video here in 2026 using AI. I've been experimenting with different models that are available, both on Google Gemini and then with some of the other tools that I've seen out there. And one of the ones that I've leveraged that have been really effective has been the different models that are on Higgsfield.ai. At Higgsfield, there's a couple models. There's one for Kling, there's one for WAN, there's one for Nano Banana. And if you look at it, there's different ways that you can actually explore building out your cinematic experiences based on just some prompts that you submit or images that you want to leverage and recreate stuff from, or even videos that you just want to change the effects on and make them look really cool. So today we're going to talk about two of those models. One is Kling 2.5 and the other one is WAN 2.5. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at those now. So the first thing you're going to do is go to Higgsfield.ai. And once you land on that page, you'll see a bunch of different options for the different effects that they have. You can kind of scroll the page and see some of the top choices that are available. They have ways of creating mixed media with images and videos, as I mentioned. So these are some really cool effects. But we're going to start today by looking at how to recreate our first video. So we'll go down to create video. And then once you get here, you're going to have a few options for deciding what type of video that you want to create. You can go ahead and take a look at some of the available templates. When I landed here on this page, you see WAN 2.5 is selected. So I can actually click change and I can see some of the different options that are available for under WAN. They got general, they got static images. You can have like a dolly that zooms in or out. There's a lot of different cool effects that you can do with your images. And so the two I'm going to talk about today is WAN 2.5 and then Kling 2.5. And if you look at this with Kling, there's a bunch of different cool effects as well. Like this animalization one is really cool. You could turn yourself into a dog, which I'll show you that here in a minute. You can morph into different effects. Like there's a lot of cool effects that you can do with this here. So typically when you get started, what you want to do is decide, okay, what is the prompt that I want to do? And then what is the image that I want to use? So we're going to start with WAN 2.5, right? Let's go to 2.5 for WAN. Let's go here. And I'm going to choose WAN 2.5. So you see here the model, you just go ahead and select the one that you want. The prompt that I'm going to have here is, let's close that. The prompt that I'm going to have here is, actually, let me change this. I want to actually choose something that looks a little bit cool. So there's a mouth in, mouth out. There's a zoom. So there's a pan right, which is what you can have here. This is just panning right. And so I'm going to put here as my prompt, just fades to the right. That's all I'm doing. It's 5 seconds. I can choose my resolution. And so depending on what resolution you choose, it depends on how much credits that you utilize. You do have to make sure that you have a certain number of credits, which I'll talk about here later in the video. And so I'm going to use a 1080p. I'm going to make it only 5 seconds, and I'm going to generate. Now, I know it takes a while for this to happen, so I've actually tried this before, and I'm going to show you what that actually looks like. So when I come over here, you see my image of me, and this is actually an AI image of me wearing a Bulls uniform, because I would never wear a Bulls uniform. Sorry, fans. And if you click on this video, it's going to show me, like you see how it animates me as an image, AI me, and it shows that it's fading to the right, and it actually puts some words there, which is pretty interesting. I didn't ask for the words. I thought about that on its own. And so you can actually create different, like I could have told it to say, hey, write this on the side, or maybe change the colors. I didn't do that. I just wanted it to pan to the right. And so that's what it's doing here. And so really cool effect. Again, this is an image of me. It's not a video or anything like that. So it animated this whole effect with me in it. Another one that I've done before as well, let's see if this one's come back. No, it hasn't. So with WAN, like I said, you have different options here. You can have a general one, you can have a static, you can have a dolly, you can have a handheld where it's like you're running and there's a handheld camera in front of you. So there's a lot of cool effects that you can do with the WAN 2.5. So the next one that I'm going to show you is, let's go to Kling. And with Kling, one of the ones that I thought was pretty cool was this animalization, right, option. So let's close this up here. And again, we're going to use, actually, you know what? Let me choose that. Let's go ahead and choose that. Let's choose animalization. So you see here, animalization. I can put a prompt, transform me into a Black Panther. You know, with Marvel coming out, I want to be the Black Panther. So you're going to put me as the Black Panther. If I can spell, put me as the Black Panther. And so again, you got to choose your model, which this is Kling 2.1. I want to choose 2.5. Let's go with that one. Right? It's 10 seconds. I have my resolution of 1080p, and I'm going to put, let's go ahead and generate that. And so, you know, it's going to go ahead and try to generate. Now, earlier, I did one where I tried to morph myself into a golden retriever. So let me show you what that looks like. So we're going to click on play. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Let me make that a little bit bigger so you guys can see that. Hold on. You see, look at that. Oh, that's really cool. So it turned me into a realistic golden retriever. So that's pretty slick. And so that's one of the great things about this tool is that, you know, as you're creating a cinematic story, the key thing that you have to do is try to figure out what is your story, right? And then once you iron out your storyboard and what you want to look like, you come to this tool and you can create the different transitions and effects going from one part to the next. So that's really cool. Now I put it, you can also just do a start frame and an end frame, which I have not tried yet. But you can choose what you want that animal to look like at the end or what you want that end frame to be for your particular show, and then have it do a transformation between that. And so while we're waiting, let me go back over to what it looks like here with the transition that I had here. This is the face to the right, which we already did. We have our, let's see how this one works here and see what it looks like. This is our WAN. We're going back to our WAN. This is fading to the right. Whoa. So this is interesting. It did not touch me. It actually faded the door. It tried to fade the door to the right. So that's interesting. That's what I was saying with AI. You have to be very particular on what you tell it. And I don't think I told the right thing, and I didn't choose the right effect here. So it actually tried to pan the background if you look at what pan right represents. So I chose the wrong one. That's fine. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing to test out as we're experimenting with AI so that you know what, you know, these things aren't all this easy. You have to actually experiment, know what you're doing, and try to figure out what is the story you're trying to tell, right? So I'm going to try a different one here, which again is Kling 2.6 for this particular one. Let's change that to Kling 2.6. And one of the ways that I did see with Kling 2.6 is a way for you to actually have like an aerial pullback. And so if you look at this particular option, let's see, it did not check it for me. Let's go over to Kling. Let's go to 2.6. There you go. Now let's switch to 2.6 to this area. Now I can have audio that's tied to this as well. I have my duration, my aspect ratio. They won't let me change the aspect ratio, I think, because it's a pullback. So you can't change the aspect ratio. So I have me again, and I'm gonna put, you know, let me see what I did in the demo that I'm going to show you here. I put camera pans away into an overview of the city of Brooklyn. Let's copy that. I'm going to put, actually that's here. It puts it there, right? I'm going to change this to Atlanta. Because I just want to see whether it actually tries to figure out what the city of Atlanta looks like. So I'm going to generate another one. But I want to show you what it looks like. So I put, again, camera pans away to an overview of the city of Brooklyn. Let's see what that looks like, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. See what that looks like. See, look at that. That's pretty slick. That definitely looks like that. Now, that bridge may not be completely accurate, but it does try to show that, hey, that's the Brooklyn Bridge, and this is the city of New York. It's trying to make an effort to do that. So that's pretty slick. And so that's, again, so this is all part of your storytelling, right? How are you telling your story? Maybe you want to have shots where people are panning away. Maybe you want to have conversation, like audio was included in that. I don't know if you can hear the sound, but audio is included in that. So maybe you want to have a way for that sound to be shared and for the story to reflect certain sounds of the city. And you can actually do that utilizing Kling. All right, let's see how effective the Black Panther thing was. I'll try it out. Did it work? Yeah, it worked. I am a Black Panther. That's pretty slick. Look at that. So if you want to tell a story extending beyond the Marvel Black Panther and all that fun stuff, you could do that. Look at that. It turned me into a particular cat. Now I can actually turn myself into my own pet cat, I think, by putting an end frame near. Haven't tried that yet, but that's something I am going to try at some point. But that's pretty slick. So anyway, very, very cool features by Higgsfield. If you want to tell a cinematic story here in 2026, I definitely recommend you checking out Higgsfield, getting on there and trying to actually storyboard what your story would look like. They actually have a separate area called Cinema Studio, which I mean will give you a lot of control in what you want your story to look like. Whether it's the certain types of cameras here. Look at this. They got different types of cameras you can choose, right? The Panavision. They have different lenses. This is really advanced for me, so I have not gotten into this yet. I do intend to do a video that's based on this. So, please follow me, subscribe, check out my channel. I'm gonna do some more videos that are on that. But to get started, if you're a newbie and you're just trying to figure out, well, how do I tell this story, right? Come here, create your storyboard and what you want to look like. Come here and try these different effects to see how those effects will look like within the story you're trying to tell, and go from there. So, one other thing I do want to show you. So you can actually do certain things. Let's say you want a Superman effect and you make yourself fly. I tried this. It didn't necessarily work out as great for me, but this is fly. It kicked out. It had me fly backwards before it out like I got. But I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was going to actually do a flying scene. So again, this comes down to, look at this. What is my prompt, right? I put flies towards the camera with a smile and a stern look. I think that may have confused it some. Because if you go and look at the fly, I can fly option, look at this. She flies towards the camera like this. So I probably should have just left it blank and see what happens. And I may try that out. Let me see what happens. I can fly. I'm gonna leave that blank. Let's see what happens. And I'm gonna generate it, right? But that's the cool thing about these effects. You can think through what is the story you're trying to tell and create different effects around it. But you got to be very particular about the type of prompts that you've given. So anyway, that's where we're at today. Really quickly, if you look at pricing, just to show you, they have some sales going on right now. But to start off with, you have a basic plan. Let me see. Do they have a free plan here? They do have a free limited use plan here that gives you like one job. Like you don't have to wait for it to process, stuff like that. It takes a little bit of time. You kind of get three videos. You don't really get much with the free plan, but you can experiment and see what that looks like. But really what you want to get into is either I think that you need to do the pro plan to get some really cool stuff. But you saw some of the credits that I leveraged there. It was 20 credits here, 30 credits there. It wasn't that bad. So you could probably start with the basic plan and just kind of get some experience with the different options. I think really when you start getting the value or the bang for your buck is when you get into the pro and the ultimate plan, just to be honest with you. So you got to think about whether that's worth for you. They have some deals going on. I have a deal. I only got an hour left for the deal that I'm on. So there's some deals that are there as well that you could take advantage of that will help you be, more fun and more be able to build different ideas for that. So, all right. All right. So thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Let me know anything that you want me to see or create within Higgsfield.ai. I'm going to keep experimenting with it. I'm going to try to make a cinematic movie. I actually did a video on Freebeast AI, making like music videos for some of the songs that I created with Suno. I'm going to try to do a music video within Higgsfield as well. So come back and look forward to that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I look forward to you experimenting and exploring AI with me soon. Thanks. Bye.